The Galactic Council had made a grave mistake, and Commander Zixter knew it the moment he reviewed the surveillance footage. 3 days earlier, they had thrown Leo Garrett into the containment cell as punishment. The human engineer had violated Protocol 7 Alpha by attempting to access the restricted detention wing. His crime? Trying to bring food to the prisoners. The Council deemed it inappropriate fraternization with hostile specimens. His sentence? 72 hours in cell block O, shared with the most dangerous prisoner aboard the station. Anna. The Keleth girl had been aboard the research station for 6 months. Found drifting in a damaged escape pod near the Horsehead Nebula, she had been classified as a xenobiological curiosity and a threat. The Council's xenopsychologists labeled her feral, aggressive, and beyond rehabilitation. She had attacked every scientist who entered her cell, leaving 3 hospitalized and 1 permanently scarred across his thorax. Her species was unknown, humanoid in shape but covered in bioluminescent markings that pulsed with her emotions. She possessed reflexes that made her a blur of motion when threatened. She didn't speak any known language, communicated only in hisses and growls, and refused all food offered to her, somehow surviving on the station's recycled water alone. The Council's solution to Leo's insubordination seemed poetic to them. Lock the bleeding heart with the monster and let him learn why. Regulations existed. Commander Zixter had argued against it. Humans were unpredictable, yes, but they weren't stupid. This was cruel, but he was overruled now. Watching the footage from day 1, he understood how badly they had miscalculated. Hour 1, Leo entered the cell with his hands raised, speaking softly. Anna had retreated to the far corner, her markings flashing violent crimson, body coiled like a spring. She hissed, showing rows of needle-sharp teeth. Leo sat down against the opposite wall. He didn't approach, didn't make demands. He simply sat and began talking about Earth, about his sister back home, about how he'd joined the Galactic Engineering course to see the stars. Anna watched him like a predator watching prey. Hour 6, Leo had removed his jacket and folded it into a pillow. He'd been dozing when Anna crept closer, movements silent as death. Zixter had tensed, ready to sound the alarm. But Anna didn't attack. She sniffed the air around Leo, her bioluminescent patterns shifting from red to amber. Curious. When Leo's eyes opened, she jerked back, hissing. "It's okay," Leo murmured. "I'm not going to hurt you." He slowly reached into his pocket. Zixter had nearly hit the emergency override and pulled out a ration bar. He broke it in half, ate 1 piece himself, then placed the other on the floor between them before retreating to his wall. Anna stared at the food for 20 minutes before snatching it and retreating to her corner. Day 2, Leo had established a routine. He talked to her constantly, his voice a steady, calming rhythm. He told her stories, sang songs from Earth, described colors and seasons she'd never seen. Anna began responding, not with words, but with sounds, chirps, trills, whistles. Her markings stayed in the yellow-green spectrum. Interested. When Leo performed simple exercises, push-ups, stretches, Anna mimicked him from across the cell. When he laughed at her perfect form, her markings flashed with what could only be described as pleased lavender. By evening, they sat only 3 feet apart. Day 3. Morning. This was when everything changed. Leo had been sleeping when Anna approached. Zixter watched, her mandibles tight with tension, as she knelt beside the human. Her hand, clawed and dangerous, reached out toward his face. She touched his cheek, gently, like testing if something was real. Leo stirred, eyes opening. Any other species would have flinched, would have shouted. Humans, Zixter knew from experience, had strong survival instincts. Instead, Leo smiled. "Hey there," he whispered. Anna made a sound, soft, vulnerable. Her markings shimmered with soft blue light. Leo slowly sat up, keeping his movements measured. "You're not feral at all, are you? You're just scared, alone." What happened next would be analyzed by xenanthropologists for years. Anna's face crumpled. Her bioluminescent patterns erupted in cascading waves of deep blue, the color of sorrow. She made a sound that needed no translation, a sob. Leo opened his arms. The feral alien girl collapsed into them, her body shaking with 6 months of isolation, fear, and confusion. And Leo held her, one hand stroking her hair, murmuring the same things he'd probably said to his sister during nightmares. "You're safe. I've got you. You're not alone." Day 3. Final hours. They found them like that, when Commander Zixter opened the cell door at the 72-hour mark, prepared for blood and violence. He instead found Leo sitting against the wall with Anna curled against his chest, sleeping peacefully. Her markings glowed soft pink contentment. One of Leo's arms was wrapped protectively around her, his other hand rested on her shoulder. Leo looked up at the commander, and his expression was harder than any human Zixta had ever seen. "You'll have to go through me to take her," Leo said quietly. Careful not to wake her. Behind Zixta, 3 security officers tensed. Anna stirred at the sound, her eyes opening, but instead of attacking, she looked at Leo, then at the armed guards. She shifted, placing herself between Leo and the weapons, protective markings flashing warning red, a human and an alien girl, both ready to defend each other to the death. Commander Zixta made a decision that would cost him his commission but restore his honor. "Stand down," he told his officers. Then, to Leo, "What does she need?" Leo's expression softened. "Food, real food, not tasteless protein paste. Sunlight or whatever spectrum her species needs. Dignity," he paused, "and someone to tell her she's not a monster." Within a week, Anna had her own quarters adjacent to Leo's. Within a month she was learning Galactic Common, her intelligence undeniable once someone bothered to teach her. Within a year, she and Leo were the station's most effective first contact team. The feral alien girl had only needed what all sentient beings needed: kindness, patience, and someone willing to see past the teeth and claws to the terrified child underneath. Humanity's greatest weapon. Zixta logged in his final report. Wasn't their technology or their stubbornness, it was their unshakable belief that everyone deserved a chance at redemption. Even when locked in a cell, humans somehow found a way to make family. The end.